How does being a woman influence your creativity?
I don't know if it actually influences my actual creativity, but obviously how I am in the world is related to being a woman.
Well, it must do because I'm a woman, but I don't really know how it does because I'm not a man, so I don't know what it's like to be a man. So probably whatever I am, whether it's a man or a woman or a young person or an old person or a confident person or a non-confident person, it's all going to influence everything. If I was a man, being a man would seep into my work. I don't think we can avoid what we are seeping into our work. And maybe that's what makes it harder for women, because so much of what is considered art and good art and it's sort of decided by men. And so the things that women do that are a bit different aren't sort of considered art because nobody's understood them as art before, because what's art has been decided by men.
I think being a woman impacts on every aspect of my life. It's an important part of who I am. Our sex and our sexuality is an important part of who we all are.
Statistically, there's more women that are not becoming so successful in the arts.
The chances of me having the career that I have, first of all, I think they're called the 5 glass ceilings of the art world. And so the first one is graduating art school, and the likelihood of art school graduates having a full-time professional career as an artist were 1 in 10,000. And then he followed it by saying that, and of those, there was a 0.1% chance within that if you were female. Right. So basically what he was telling me was that it was completely miraculous what I've done. And it was useful to know that, because I just thought it was hard and I'd done what I'd done, but I loved making art and I didn't stop no matter what was happening to me and my mental health and my life. And I just kept battling through and made my work and met a couple of good people along the way and kept working. But actually more important than any of that is just my statistical achievement that I'm very proud of.
The change I would like to see, that I think would be very good for women and men, is opening up the idea of our relationships and our kin and who we live with, and more opportunities for communal living and intergenerational support.
I think my focus really is on the sort of inequality that we see internationally, and I would just love to see change across other cultures, how women are treated in other cultures.
I think one thing would be flexibility in the workplace, especially in the creative sector, and especially in Eastbourne. It's very hard to find a job unless it's full-time or you're freelancing. There's not much sort of flexibility in a workplace for creative jobs.
The one change I'd like to see is the women being able to be more truly themselves in their working environments. So being able to speak more openly about being mothers and having childcare issues at work, or feeling shy, or feeling that if you're truly yourself in your sort of feminine way, that you might be judged.
I guess the one change that I would really like to see is that women are heard. They're not heard. And if they are, they're laughed at.
Hosting events like this more often. I think it's a nice opportunity to actually highlight, to celebrate women, but also at the same time highlight all the problems and sort of try and solve them, tweak them, or just talk about stuff, really.
It's been amazing today to be in that room and have all sorts of people coming in and having conversation, and everyone's reflected on how important it is to have a space, how rare it is for women to have a space intergenerationally to just have conversation, and how supportive and interesting it is, and how conversation is often seen as being a peripheral or not valuable activity, but actually the conversations in there have been so creative, and so many connections have made that actually conversation as a creative practice is how it's felt in there today. It's felt actually like that's been a creative project. The conversation has been the work.
Employ more women. Employ more women. Exhibit more women. You know, be really proactive about having women engaged in a very male-dominated world.
The project that I did for looking at the collection and thinking about the collection therapeutically was really interesting, because I looked through the collection, and out of the 5,000 odd pieces, there's such a small, comparatively small collection of women, which I think is very common, but so some redress of that balance through their collection or their exhibition programme I think would be really valuable.